Hi everyone. So I'm trying out a little bit of a new setup today. She simplified my setup, so it's kind of nice, but I'm a little bit nervous about how it'll go. A little bit also further away from my camera than I usually am, so hopefully the audio picks up okay, because I always just use my phone camera. I'm not super fancy. Maybe one day. But anyways, today I want to bring you a new makeup date. I have a lot of new things that I think are going to be coming up in the next few weeks. And so I kind of want to get these things out of the way so I don't have a super long makeup date, but I always do. So anyways, already rambling. So let's do it. So makeup dates, if you're new here, I just call it a makeup date. Pretty much I just update you on my makeup. That's why it's called a makeup date. I thought it was punny. So, but anyways, I basically go through the ins and outs of my collections, what has come in, what's going out, kind of what I think has been making some good progress, and just like kind of rambly thoughts along the way. So, yeah, I have some interesting things to show you. It's not super exciting, but like I said, I want to get these out of the way first. So when I do have an influx of things that are happening within the next few weeks, I think I'm not a lot of things that are gonna like major things that are hit pan, and I'll touch on a few of those that think I have really good progress on. And then I did make a few purchases, which is sad, but life got the bit of better of me. But I think given the number of outs I've had and kind of how I've been tracking things, like I think it's gonna be okay. So let's do outs first. And typically they're kind of like in tandem. Like I mentioned the things that have come out, and then I mentioned like the things that have maybe like replaced it and stuff. So it's kind of like you see the ebb and the flow and like the natural flux of my collection. Anyways, so the few things that are actually still in, but I am rotating out the packaging is this Laneige Sika sleeping mask. Got this from a friend 2 or 3 years ago, so it's been in my collection a while. It's just such like a thick moisturizer that it's hard for me to like use a ton of, and I can't use it every day. And so I actually ended up decanting it into this amazing little La Mer um little La Mer jar here. I got this sample jar a while back, and the store associate like stuffed it with like I think it was just La Mer cream, and I felt so lucky. And I'm just like, I've never owned anything La Mer, but this is the closest I'll get, and I'm gonna take it. So this is in this now. I'm gonna use this up when I can, but I'm actually gonna repurpose this from my body lotion. So right now I've been mixing body lotions, and it's super annoying to like pump this and pump this, add oil, blah blah blah. So I'm hoping I can at least mix the two moisturizers I have, and that way a little bit less stuff to mix. And also this is cute, and I can like, put the other things aside. So all about consolidating. Other thing that's still in my collection, but I'm rolling out the packaging is my sunscreen. And as you can see here, I made little marks, and it's like super smudgy because it had a few rounds of of markings. But basically yesterday, I'm filming this on 24th. Basically yesterday I was at this mark, and this is the progress I made in pretty much 2 weeks. My first mark there is from the 9th. This is the 24th. So I think I probably, if that's going to be the running, I probably have like another week or two left of this, and it'll bring me into probably mid-February very nicely. So I decanted this into this jar here. As you can see, I didn't cut it open. I'm realizing the reason that I put the sunscreen aside in the first place was that I didn't like the scent of it. I'm super sensitive with scents, even if they're like pretty neutral and like normal sunscreen smell. So yeah, I'm not gonna cut into it, but I like really squeezed it out to get as much as I could in here. So I think I'll let it go. Not super exciting, but I used up a sponge. It's dirty because it's starting to like do that thing where it's starting to like break apart. So I was like, I'm just gonna let this one go. This is the sponge that kind of got me back into sponges. And so I'm grateful for the life it had, but I think I gave it its 30-ish uses, and it definitely was in my collection for over a year. And then these next two are pretty exciting and will be part of some future updates too. But I finished up this sample pack of cream blushes from Laura Mercier. Bronzy shade, too light for me shade, really pigmented red shades. So it was like just all of them perform really differently. And I don't have a reason to buy this in full size, but it was fun, I guess. I told myself to give it a week, and I definitely gave it a week, so I'm glad I gave it a chance in my collection. Not in my collection, but I'm glad I gave it a chance on my face, and I got to experience it. So this is super exciting. I finished a gloss. Not really. I'll explain. So this is the Revlon Super Lustrous The Gloss, and as you can see, I completely emptied it. I used my makeup spatula to scrape it all out. And this one is in my um out the door in 2024. And so yeah, it was, I mean, it's small though. It looks like the packaging look huge, but if you can see, the center of it is like super tiny. So I was kind of disappointed in that. There's only 3.8, 3.9 milliliters in here. I think it says right here 3.8. And yeah, I ended up mixing in Nearly Neutral from Rare Beauty in here. I really liked it. But by the time I guess all my markings went off. But oh, you can kind of tell. Oh man. So I started here. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna pull my face away. I started up here where it's like in line with the S up here. And then I'm just seeing if my lighting will help me here. Started with the S up here, and then there's like a very faint mark all the way down at the T of the, and that's where I ended before I decanted this into my other gloss, pretty much the other major gloss I'm working on in the collection, which is the you know, off-brand Dior Glow um, lip oil. So once I put this in here, this one was about halfway, and then I ended up pushing it all the way up to where that first mark is. Let me see if I can get to focus. Ended up pushing it all the way up to the first mark there, and then I've actually been able to work this one down all the way pretty much to actually where I started before I put this in here. And this mix was actually good because I put a little bit too much peppermint oil in this one. So it was a little bit strong, and I wasn't probably going to enjoy using this one up anyway. So mixing the two kind of lessened that intensity a little bit. And plus it actually makes this a lot nicer to work with. So I'm glad I did that. This is a slow going one though. I'm about a week in, as you can see my dates there, 117 to 124. Not bad progress by any means. I'm realizing since I'm home a lot, I can just like keep reapplying. And I also like sometimes I do multiple phases of makeup a day just because I'm bored and I want to be doing, I just sometimes play with my makeup. So I end up just like putting it on a few times. So yeah, I worked through glosses quite quickly. I did buy a new gloss. It was one that I really wanted, and I'll show you once, of course, once it comes in. But yeah, I'm realizing I really do enjoy glosses a lot. I work through them quite quickly, so I don't think I'm afraid of like bringing a few into my collection this year. It's the lipsticks that I'm like really concerned about. I think I crunched some numbers, and I can only, I think, like, given my progress over the last few months, I think I'm only going to finish like one full bullet lipstick this year, which is kind of disappointing because I have so many. And like, great for me on lip glosses, but I really wish that I was better about lipsticks. I don't know what about it is different right now, but I think that's where I'm at. So I guess that's a good segue into something I did want to talk about is my progress on my project lip palette. That was like, oh shoot, did I like totally gouge this thing? I might have just gouged this. I like stuffed my makeup collection over here like a little bit too full. Oh, I might have just ruined the packaging, which, that's sad. Should have been more careful. All right, this is my MAC Viva Glam lip palette. As you can see, I have some pretty decent pans in here now. I have two major pans. I have one little corner there showing. But I think given that each of these pans is about half of a lipstick, I can only, if I foresee myself only really being able to use 1 year's worth of lipstick in this year, and this palette I'm only going to bring until the end of the year because this is going to turn 10 years at the end of the year. I really can't justify bringing it like another year and like to continue to use it. I'm gonna start prioritizing on the shades that I really want to use up, or at least really want to enjoy from here. And those mainly are the main two are going to be these two, and then these two I also really enjoy as well, and I've realized I really enjoy mixing. These two shades are really too pinky for me, so I might pull those in like spring, summer, and like play with them, but it's not going to be a priority to use it by any means. I really want to use the majority of these two, most of these two, and then I think I'll be happy with that progress this year. Which would actually mean if I really do that, that would mean I'd actually used up over one lipstick, which I think I'll be really happy with that progress. Okay, so that's my progress on that. A few other things here is one, I hope I don't gouge my lip palette again because that's sad. Two is, let's see, on the thing about lip products. I've been trying to use my Rare Beauty tinted lip oil. I don't like it on my lips too much. I don't like gravitate towards it as a lip product. I started using this actually as a cheek product, as like a cheeks, I guess a cheek stain. If you, it doesn't really stain anything on my cheeks really. It sometimes does, but not a ton. If I blend it out fast enough, it's not too bad. But as you can see, you know, you can't see any progress in this. But I just want to put it out there. I think I'm going to try to use this up as a cheek product as much as I can. Um, and then some other things that have come in or like have been making good progress is I did end up pulling in my Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched face base. I think it's supposed to be like a moisturizing primer, but I really don't put on moisturizer in the morning. I put on sunscreen, so this will just get used up as a moisturizer. And I thought I would like this more. I really enjoyed the eye cream that was from Bobbi Brown. And that one to me smelled like lychee, and that's like super nostalgic for me and smelled really nice. This one smells like, it's like a lychee lemon version that like doesn't appeal to me. Which is sad because I was really hoping like this. Texture is decent. Um, Scent is probably not something I want to use a ton of. So yeah, that's where I am with that. I will finish this up, but I don't think I'll purchase a full size. Plus it's expensive. And people like sing the praises, but I don't think I don't think I can get on board if it's that scent. I might get samples just to see like maybe how I like it in the future, but um yeah, I'm not gonna like run for it. I was using this vitamin E oil as kind of a stand-in moisturizer while I was figuring out my home moisturizer situation, and I'm figuring out that this lavender scent in here, like I'm also don't gravitate towards. So I'll see how I work this out of my collection. It'll probably just become like a body oil. Um, so yeah, that's that for that one. Let me see here. Let me do an update on my Panda Eye palette. I need to clean this palette. It is dingy. But anyways, here's where I'm at. No pan yet. I feel like I'm so close on this one. This one definitely has a good dip in it. I gouged my finger in this one again. And I'm figuring out how to use these ones better too. I think this one's actually a really good eyebrow and like shadow liner color. So I think I'm going to enjoy using it that way and try to hit pan on it that way. This color is like my main crease shadow, so I think I'll work on it okay with that. It's actually a good bronzer shadow as well, so I think once I run out of my bronzer, I might try to pull this one in somehow. I have other powder bronzers to work through too, but it'd be nice to kind of multitask this one. So yeah, unfortunately no pan. I was really hoping I'd hit pan on this one really soon. It's like seems so close, and I'm just like dipping at it. And one thing I've been really enjoying to apply my eyeshadows with is actually my beauty sponge. I just use the tip and just like I'll do my eyeshadow base with this, and then I'll also dip it in here, and it kind of even emulates like the sponge tip applicators, which have really good payoff obviously, and I think on this palette especially it really benefits from that. So I think this has been actually a really nice tool to use. I use this for foundation, bronzer, blush, and my eyeshadow now. Pretty much everything except for powder. Speaking of powder, let me give you a cool update. So I've been using my Laura Geller Balance and Brighten foundation in medium, and I think my pan has expanded. Sorry, it just looks so dirty. But yeah, but because of the way it's marbled, this section is a little bit darker, and that's actually where I have it's still like kind of raised a bit. So I've been using that as kind of my contour, like over my bronzer and contour a little bit. That works nicely. So I think I've expanded the pan. I'm going to keep working at it. I think my goal is to make like be able to empty out the square of pans. Like I have a 9x9 right now. I want to make it a 4x4. So I'm pretty close on exposing. I need to expose one more square and like really clean it up. That of course doesn't make any sense to you, but that's my goal, my visual goal. And then this powder, I'm really excited about this progress. Basically, I had this like DIY loose powder compact. It's super thin, but I had packed it with like random jumble of you know, powder products. I think the Laura Mercier powder was in here. I might have you know, scraped off maybe one of my previous face powders in here. Maybe there's like a loose sunscreen powder in here too. But anyways, I was like, I don't know what's gonna come from this. I'm just gonna start using it and see how I feel about it on my face. And I really love it. It's one of those like out of nowhere products, right? You're like, this was in my collection the whole time. Like, how come I didn't know about you? And I think a lot of it has to do with the packaging. First of all, the packaging is actually like a mesh. It's like the mesh dispenser. So I feel like I can both use a sponge, which I don't, or not the sponge, but like the puff. I can use that, or I can just dip my powder brush like straight in, and it'll pick up product, which is to me like much easier because that's why I liked pressed powders was because I could just dip a brush in versus like I feel like a lot of powder products you have to like dump it upside down and like sift it out and sift it this way you lose product and it just gets like to me it's messy, it's extra steps, like it takes time. But this is like so fast. I just take it out and just like dip my brush into the mesh and it's good to go. Um and my progress is wild. Look at this. I my first mark there is from the 11th, and so it's not even been 2 weeks, and I'm pretty much halfway through. And of course, like this is the midway point, so everything else is going to go pretty fast. So I might have this done, honestly, in 2 weeks. That's going to bring me into like mid-February. I feel like the last bits are going to be really hard to get through the mesh, so I might end up having to pop it out and like use it up that way. But it's like super easy to, because it's a DIY compact, super easy to take apart and like finish up like that. I do have like a deluxe size sample of the Laura Mercier powder. So I'll probably see how much of that I can fit in here. And then maybe mix a few of my other face powders that I need to be working through in here as well. Um, but yeah, I'm super excited by this like find and can't say enough about it, to be honest. Another product that I also discovered in my collection is this e.l.f. Soap Brow one. I talked about it in my last makeup date, and I wanted to update you on how I've been using it, and mainly in my hair. I'm not really want to do my eyebrows. I did my eyebrows now because I'm like trying to use that shade from my, Pan That face palette in as an eyebrow shade. But I can't see myself like doing it every single day. It's just a lot of work. But I started, I mean, you're not going to see any progress in this, and it's soap, right? I don't know how legitimately it is soap. I should really look at the ingredients and see if it's like actually something I could use as soap, because I could use it up that way. Um, but I've mainly been just using one, just a spoolie and using the product in my hair as kind of just like a hair tamer because I have tons and tons of baby hairs. That's been working out great actually, and I think on days where my hair is like half up like this or fully up, I think it'll be a really really good option. And it's quick, and it doesn't. I don't have to think about it. I think for my brows, like I have to think about it, and it's a technique that I'm not used to, yada yada. So I think that's why. So I think that's mainly the things I wanted to update on this time around. I'm looking at my collection here in the corner. I'm trying to see like what other cool things have I been doing, but I think I've shared everything I wanted to share. Um, the other thing I wanted to touch on this makeup date was just to think out loud about. So I started deck of panning, and if you get the Joker prompt, you're supposed to pick out something that's like, are you joking? Like, you're just kind of like in disbelief. Like, I have to pan this. Whether it be something that you like really don't enjoy in your collection, or it's actually something you love and you're like, oh my goodness, like I actually have to pan this. It's like that kind of feeling. So it can go both ways. But I just kind of want to like brainstorm out loud what that product might be if I hit it. Something I'm doing on my deck of panning, and I think I'm gonna like up the ante. I'm realizing deck of panning is gonna be like my super risk taking, super challenging project of the year, and that is going to be actually putting both jokers in, because what I've been doing is basically drawing not only a card for the prompt, but also card and maybe cards for the number of uses. So say like I get one card for the prompt, and then my next card is a 2, then that's to be like, okay, maybe that's not enough. So maybe I might actually draw another card to see and add that up to see the number of uses I'm supposed to have on a product. And so, like maximum, if it's 2 face cards, then it'd probably be like 20 uses, right? Which isn't like huge for me, I feel like. I do enough faces of makeup in a month where I could probably reach that okay. But because I'm drawing across like prompts and uses, I was like, I might as well up the ante and throw in the second joker. So it's possible that I actually like have a joker as the number of uses, which would be like, are you kidding me on the number of uses? Could be to finish, or just like a really ridiculous number. So I was thinking like, what kind of products would really make me be like, have that like joker since it's Joker feeling. I think if I had to do that. So I think what I was thinking about probably first was like powder products, especially powder highlight. This is the MAC Soft and Gentle. I got this from Poshmark a while back, just I think for nostalgia's sake. It's just so hyped up. And for me on my face, it is just blinding. I don't know if you can see how bright that can be. Like people talked about how like, oh, it looks so nice and gentle and stuff, but for my face, it's pretty much blinding. So I don't exactly know how I'd use this. Maybe as an eyeshadow. I already have enough eyeshadow to work on. I don't know if I would somehow mix into like a primer and make it an illuminating primer, but this one would definitely be a challenging product to work on. And one where if I did choose it and I had to choose how many uses, I probably wouldn't choose that many because I would just be wanting to get to know this product, honestly. But maybe I would choose a number of uses to actually get to last, to really be working on it a few months. I tend to try to make my deck of painting just like get through all of them. But I think if I had like a Joker product, I'd try to maybe have it in the project for at least a few months to kind of know this product better because I'm honestly afraid of it. And that's why it's a Are You Joking product for me. Another one's kind of in a similar vein is I also got this off Poshmark is this baked blush from Laura Geller in Peach Delight. Super beautiful, has this beautiful marbled, but it's just like it's just really bright pink. It's not even Barbie pink. It's just like neon pink. So yeah, not my color. I am very ready to let go of this and make it a part of like my out the door in 2024 and just like declutter. But I think I should give it a chance. I didn't really know what shade I was getting into when I selected this on Poshmark. So I feel like I should just learn. And then like, given it is marbled, right? It's a baked product. I could probably choose whatever is up top a little bit better and it might not be as jarring. No, it still is. It's just a lighter version of the Barbie pink. That's that one right there. So, maybe it's just my fingers all mixed up with stuff. But anyways, this would be another Are You Joking product. I think I would just need to figure out how to use this. Maybe it looks better on my face than I give it credit for. But I would definitely need to be like working at it. It's not an easy product for me. Another similar blush product would be this one. Oops. Wow, I totally just dropped it. Thankfully it didn't shatter. This blush from MAC. Oh gosh, I don't even remember what it's called. I think it's peach something as well. But it's the single, and I just haven't touched it. And I think it would be definitely a challenge for me to reach for it because it's right now it's in my Freedom palette that I used a lot last year, but I'm not reaching for it as much. And I just have not been gravitating towards powder blushes. And so I think that is what would make it a challenge. Keep dropping things out of this Freedom palette. Okay, go back in. Next ones here are two stick concealers that I literally forgot that I had in my collection, which I kind of wish they were in my collection, right? I somehow used up a lot of this Revlon one somehow. There's not as much in here as I thought there was. This is Revlon Photo Ready Concealer Medium. There's only this much left, which isn't bad, so I'm trying to put it against something where you can see the progress. And then this one from Almay is too bright, so, or too light, so there's that ton of this one left. So I think both of these would be super challenging. The light one, I can definitely, I think I talked about this in a previous video, I can mix this in with my darker foundation to kind of lighten it. This medium one is just about the right tone, so I think it would just honestly just be using it up. Not only that, but use up whatever's in the bullet as well. I think that would make it a challenging product for me. And the last one here, I kind of just pulled out arbitrarily, but I'm not like super excited about this product. This is the L'Oreal Prime Lab Matte Setter. And I was looking at this as a dupe for the MAC, like, what is it called? Skin Refine Zone, I think, which is also a super like pore filling mattifying product, which works really well. I got a few samples and it works really well. So I got this thinking that it might be similar, it's similar ingredients and stuff, but I'm just like not super excited for it. So I think if it was an Are You Joking, what is it? Are You Joking prompt, it'd be like to finish this. And I'd be like, I don't know about you. Just not super excited about it. So, Anyways, I don't really have any products that would fit kind of the other end of Are You Joking, where it's like, oh my goodness, I love this. I don't want to let this go. Are you joking that I have to finish this? I don't really have anything like that right now. So that's why I didn't really pull any product that fell into that kind of version of the prompt. But I don't know. I just thought it was just interesting to brainstorm. I think this one. I think the soft and gentle would probably be what I would start with, and then like some of the other ones I would probably pull in depending on how I was feeling and things like that. But it was, yeah. I just wanted to like talk out loud about it because I don't really know like what I would do if I got that prompt. But like I said before, I kind of have like two ways to get a joker and two ways to kind of be making it challenging for myself. But I think I enjoy that aspect of the project. I think everything else, like really, all of my other, all the other things I'm working on really align with kind of what I'm using day to day already and what I'm using regularly. It isn't like too far of a stretch for me. And I'm kind of working on a few things in the background too. But I think to really go out there and use products that I'm not super comfortable with, and that I maybe should think about decluttering at the end of the year. So, anyhow, thanks for tuning into this makeup date. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little bit more chit chatty and a little rambly, but yeah, I didn't really have like a ton of really cool, exciting things to update on. So I just wanted to kind of sit down and get these thoughts out of my head. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.